Join discord.gg/flatearth and enter a VC check-in room, and someone will come along to VC Riffia to get involved with the conversation about Earth.
Enemy spotted.
Smiley247365.
Smiley247365, the voice actor.
The globe is the dumbest thing that anybody's ever known about coming from academic perspective. Prove me wrong. I will have a table outside that says that on the poster board, so you guys can know that's where I stand. Prove me wrong.
Not a bad idea, actually.
It's the dumbest thing you've ever heard.
Prove me wrong.
Well,
That's a great idea.
I challenge. I pick fights, dude. Yeah, the globe's stupid. And what? You got something to say about it? You want to defend it? Go ahead, try. I'm like you guys, man. But me, I don't know. I'll play with my food a little bit. I'll let you feed the wolf pups.
Is Smiley gonna defend it? Smiley.
Hello? Hi.
Oh,
How's everyone doing?
Please, is he gonna defend it? I'll let you guys have my food.
Sorry, hi. I'm personally what I say I am. I'm a Glober. I don't really care, by the way. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe.
Bullshit.
Seriously, I don't really mind.
Listen, Smiley, you're in this server. It intrigues you that people think opposite to what you think, and what you want to do. You let me talk, dude. Damn, hold on, your little. Just chill out, dude.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Relax, bro. Relax. So basically, what it is when you come in here, you get all primed and pumped up because you think, "Oh, I'm going to talk to these flat earthers who don't know jack squat about the earth." And when you come in here, dude, any one of these gentlemen that are in here are going to shellac you 9 ways to Sunday. And if you want that, you're going to get it. But here's the thing: go ahead and give them your best shot. I'll put it that way. I'm going to sit here, and while I eat, I'll have a nice little show too. Go ahead. You got a point?
Okay.
How is the Earth a globe? You tell us. Because when you come in here, you're in our house. We want to know how you know that the Earth is a globe. And by the way, tell us what percentage you think the Earth is a globe. Are you 100% sure? Are you 50% sure? Are you 10% sure? How sure are you that the Earth is a globe there, Smiley? Let us know and then defend your point. Go.
Oh, okay. Well, first I have to state a few things that you're incorrect about right there. I'm not here to start fights or to prove you guys wrong or prove that I am right. I'm not here to pick fights. I'm just honestly here to have a genuine conversation about why each of us believes something like that, and I'm not here to try shit on anyone.
I'm sorry, but we're not going to go off into your little bullshit understandings or talks or whatever.
Okay,
You're coming into our house. Listen, dude. You're coming into our house. Basically, you're going to come in here and bring some evidence. Bring the evidence that the Earth is a globe. That's what we want. We don't want your moderation. We don't care about it. We want you to bring forth the evidence that the Earth is a globe. Do you have any? Yes or no? Answer my question.
Well, do you know the most recent Netflix?
Yes or no, sir? It's a yes or no answer.
Yes, I guess. Okay. Kind
all
of.
Right. So now, all you have to do is present it. I'm going to go back on mute. Please present the evidence that the Earth is a globe. Go.
I guess every class that you've ever been doing, like if you go to school, the teachers would always teach you that the world is a
vampire.
It's a globe, and I'm honestly just here to ask, why do you guys believe it?
I don't want to.
I'm not here to shit on anyone, man, and I'm not here to get into a fight over it.
All right, well then stop talking. How about that? Listen, we don't care about. I'm just here to ask you. No, you're not here to ask us questions, sir. We're here to ask you the question: how you know the Earth is a globe, not every classroom has been. We don't care about what everybody's doing or anything like that. We want you to present the evidence that the Earth is a globe. I said it one time. This is the second time. I hope you get it this time. I hope you get it right. We're asking for you to present your evidence that the Earth is a globe, sir. Again,
but
twice.
Isn't me coming into your house?
Present the evidence that the Earth is a globe, sir. 3 times. Go.
again, me coming into your houses, I'm asking to why
my
you
God.
believe in
Are
that.
you
I'm
serious?
asking a question.
Are
Yes.
you? No, I don't want to hear your questions, sir. I don't want to hear your questions.
Why?
Listen, you come into this council. This council is set up to listen to your evidence. Now, this council will entertain your evidence so long as you come forth with it. We don't want to hear excuses. Present the evidence that the earth is a globe, and then we have our rebuttal to your whatever you bring. So hopefully you bring your A game. Now, for the fourth time, present your evidence that the earth is a globe. Go.
Yeah, because you said you had it.
Go.
I never said I had any
Okay,
evidence.
so you don't
I
have
was
evidence.
here to have
Now
a
you're
conversation.
lying.
So you
Now
don't
you're
have
lying.
evidence
Now
that the
you're
earth is a
lying.
globe. Is this what I'm listening to right now?
I
You
said the
don't.
only evidence that I had was the
No, you're
fact that they used to teach us in classes.
No, shut the
And
fuck up. You're lying now.
Sonny,
why
let me
are
tell
you
you.
so
Said-
upset?
Sonny.
I
Hang on, guys. I'm taking this conversation. Let me handle
I
this.
wasn't meaning to be rude in any way, to be
Bro,
disrespectful to
you
any of
chill
you
out.
guys.
Bro,
I
chill
was
out.
just here to
Chill
ask
out.
you a few
Bro,
questions.
relax. Let me help.
I
Guys,
am relaxed.
not you. Okay, guys, step down. Let me handle this conversation, and I'm gonna let the gentleman speak so long as he's gonna bring forth his evidence. So, dude, I asked
Yeah.
you to present your evidence. I don't care about anything else. Now, if you don't present your evidence, I'm gonna happily put you on mute because this council is only concerned with evidence for the case that the Earth is a globe, and so you might have some. Therefore, give us some. Now, if you say you don't have any, come
The
clean
only
with.
evidence that I have is the
I
bending
do
of
not have.
light. That's
Hang on
it.
a second, sir. You control your mouth for just a moment so I can finish. So
Sure.
what right. So what I'm asking for right now is that when you present the case that the Earth is a globe, give us the examples of how and the evidence for it, please. So that's all I'm asking for. If you don't have it, please tell us I do not have evidence for the Earth being a globe. Tell me that right now. If you say I do not have any evidence, I will accept that. But if you do, please present what you know. How about that?
I do not have any evidence for the Earth being round, a globe, because I didn't come prepared.
Thank
I
you.
just came for a conversation. I was hoping
That's
that we
fine.
could
We're
have
not going
one.
to have conversations. Please put yourself on mute.
Okay.
Thank you. You may listen. You may listen to conversations in here, but if you do not bring evidence and you think that the Earth is a globe, then you can put yourself on mute. I'm going to let somebody else talk to you because you don't run things here. So they're going to ask you questions if they want to, and you can respond to them. But since you do not have any evidence for the Earth being a globe, you do not have a platform to then speak to the council. The council will speak to you. So anybody that's in here right now, if you want to ask him a question, go ahead. But so long as he responds to your questions, because he didn't have any evidence that the Earth is a globe, he admittedly said so. So now you have to listen to anybody that's in here right now. We're just going to be trying to be respectful. So long as the gentleman is going to respond, we'll go ahead and have a back and forth. Go ahead. Anybody else that wants to jump in and talk to him, please.
Yeah, I'll have a go. He said part of his evidence was the bending of light. Now, what's the light bending around? Smiley?
Sorry about that. That's I don't know. I only came in to ask a few questions about
Oh, that's all right.
why certain people believe certain things. I didn't
No,
mean
but-
any hate or anything. I didn't come in here as a
that's
joke.
all right. Yeah, okay. So what we do in here is, we want to know why people believe that they live on a spinning space ball in the vacuum of space. Now, part of your evidence was teachers tell you and light bending. Now, how does light bending prove that you live on a globe?
Wouldn't it be from like the curve of the Earth? The light would bend around the object.
Yeah, but first of all, you need a curve of the Earth. So to establish that your light bends around a curve, you need a curve of the Earth. Now, do you have a curve of the Earth?
I would think so. Well,
Where is that?
if hypothetically speaking, we were to say the
No.
Earth is a globe.
We're not talking hypothetically. We're talking concrete evidence. So, for the light to bend around a curving Earth, you need a curved Earth. Now, what's your evidence of a curved Earth?
Okay.
You
My
can't go
evidence for a
into a
curved Earth.
secondary. Yeah,
Sure.
you can't go into a secondary. You need the first thing. First thing is the curved
okay,
Earth,
sorry.
because they say we live on a ball. So you need that first to go any further.
Well, when you look out to the ocean, doesn't it eventually curve down?
So they say that the Earth is 3,950 whatever it is. Let's call it 4,000. Yeah. So they give us the geometry, so we can work out the distance to the so-called horizon from that. Now, sometimes, so if you're standing on the shore and you're 6 foot tall, the horizon of the ball should be 3 miles. Now, sometimes we can see 10. Sometimes we can see less than 3. So is the Earth expanding and shrinking and stuff like that? Now, is your horizon the edge of a ball?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay, so why is it moving?
Because are we not eventually like going around the sun, which
No, you're not
causes
getting
the
the point
Earth to
though.
move, which causes gravity? No.
I look out to the ocean. I have demarcations, yeah, which we know the distance to. If I can see past those demarcations and they're past the given they're past the given hard horizon of the Earth, then something's happening. Yeah, it's not a physical place, is it?
Sorry, repeat that one more time for me. Sorry about that. My headsets were cutting out. I'm in a thunderstorm at the moment. Sorry about that.
You do understand that when they give us the radius of the Earth, that we can work out the distance to the horizon, to work out the distance to a hard horizon. Yeah, the mathematical equation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can see past that horizon and it looks like a flat surface, and the horizon is at 10, 15 miles when it's supposed to be at 3, then how are you seeing around a ball?
I guess it's just perspective. I don't know how to.
So
You're
perspective
probably right.
lets you see around corners.
Hmm.
Is that right?
I would think so. Well, not directly around corners, but if you turn your head around them, yeah. I
Yeah, but
guess.
that's looking directly around something. It's not seeing around a corner without going around the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're saying that this goes back to you saying that light bends. Now, you're saying that light bends around a ball, but we don't have an actual ball. No one's measured a ball. Can you tell me anyone who's measured a ball? Anyone who's measured drop over distance curvature of the Earth? Anyone?
Do you want me to look somebody up who's done that, or?
Well, I don't know. You should know yourself. You claim that you live on a ball. Now,
Bro,
you
literally,
should.
I'm a 15-year-old
Now,
old kid who's just here to to like understand why other people think differently. That's
okay,
like
look, listen,
all I'm
man.
here
The
for.
the whole point is that people say yes, we live on a ball, but the point is that no one has any evidence that we live on a ball, and people come in arguing that they live on a globe, but they don't actually know that they live on a globe. Do you see the point?
Okay, but can I ask why? Like, are we allowed to? I mean, am I allowed to ask questions? I don't want to be rude because
Yeah,
the
but
last time
are you gonna admit? Are you gonna concede that you don't know that you live on a ball?
I believe that we do because of the photos that I've seen
From
and
the
the
quick
space.
many
though,
recordings
real
that I've
quick.
seen of space, but that's because that's the only physical thing I've seen.
Okay, but
I haven't. Hmm?
belief and knowing are two different things. And knowing are two different things. Like, have you eaten today?
Have I eaten today? No, I haven't.
You haven't eaten today. So you know that you haven't eaten today, right? It's not that you just believe that you haven't eaten today. You know that you haven't eaten today. So you believe that you live on a spinning wet ball in a special vacuum of outer space, but you don't know that. Do you understand what I'm getting at now? Go ahead, Timbo.
Hey, you're right. That's a belief. You're in a religion, dude. You
Wait,
know that?
that I'm in a religion?
Yeah. You
Well, I
blindly
mean,
believe.
I
in
mean, yeah,
something that has
I
no
am in a
evidence.
religion.
Yeah, it's called globe. It's called the globe religion.
I'm Christian, but I feel like that's close enough.
No, you're in a globe religion as well because you blindly believe that you live on a ball, but you have no evidence for it.
Yeah,
You get it?
Wouldn't the
it's not
evidence be
common
enough
knowledge.
photos and stuff like that? No?
It's not common knowledge that heliocentrism is a religion. It is a heliocentric. Helios, the sun god, it's idol worship, it's sun worship. It is its own religion, and it's encoded in our language.
Now, this is the type of conversation I was looking for. Something that I didn't know. Something that is actually interesting and I can actually have a civilized conversation with people about. This is fun. Thank you. I really enjoy this conversation. I am learning more and more every day. Genuinely. But may I ask too how you guys came to the conclusion? If you don't mind me asking. Like
Well,
what?
it's pretty simple for me. I mean, the physics of water, how water will rest level on its surface, you know, and level doesn't curve. And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking out across these lakes and stuff, and it's incredibly calm. And it's just a mirror flat reflection on the surface of the water. And I'm like, so if it's this way in my cup, in the bathtub, in a pond, in a puddle, at a lake, they call it sea level. There's 71% of this Earth's surface is water, and water is level on the surface. Therefore, that's pretty flat. I mean, we have mountains and hills and peaks and valleys and canyons and stuff like that. But other than that, pretty flat.
Might I ask how you I'm guessing you went to school and they taught you all this stuff in school. How did you what made you want to what changed your view from the years of schooling, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, I was taught a couple different things throughout school. I moved around a lot. Um, I was in different schools. I had different teachers. I probably had three different teachers, by the time I was completely out of second grade, you know. So I remember in probably like fifth grade, we're being taught that the sun is kind of like in suspended animation and we're all just whirling and twirling around the sun. And then I get to now helping my little cousins with their homework and stuff. And now the curriculum is saying that the sun is traveling at like this insane speed of like Mach 88, and that we're whirling and twirling, trying to, speeding up and slowing down to try to keep up with this. And that made me really think about why is the curriculum changed? So what's the truth here? Are we being told to trust the science? Is the science actually science? Or is it pseudoscience, fake science? And that's something that that we figured out along the way through all of this. So it's just a little bit of a perspective on that.
But wouldn't you believe that the science would change after a period of time once the once if they find new evidence that they would start teaching it to the younger generation again?
No, not when it changes. Not when the narrative changes up that many times. No, and not when not when you're taught that liquids seek their level on the surface. That's like fifth grade. And that's true. And it doesn't matter how big the body of water is. This bottle of water that I'm holding in my hand, in your toilet, in your bathtub, in a puddle, a lake, a pond, it's all going to be level, flat, even. It's called sea level, not sea curve. I mean, there's no curvature to be found. You should only, according to the heliocentric model, you should only be able to see 3.1 miles out to the horizon before curvature starts, end quote. And see, here's the thing: is we've got awesome technology, cameras, laser scopes, and all of these things that allow us to see much further than that across water. And so here we are with up to 273 miles of view across water when we should only see 3.1.
Didn't you guys have a photo? I was in here a while back. I think a year or so ago, and you guys had a photo of, I think it was like a highly advanced telescope on a beach, and then multiple buoys going out explaining.
Oh, is it the Black Swan? It's probably the Black Swan. The
I don't remember the
two
name
oil
sadly.
rigs. It's probably the two oil rigs. They're most common.
It was that
Where
oil
you can
rig
see
one.
you can see up to 10 miles. You can see the furthest oil rig at nearly 10 miles out. The observer height is about a foot off the ground. And so a foot off the ground and 10 miles out horizontally towards the horizon. And that the furthest oil rig can be seen at nearly 10 miles away. And then more horizon, like more water, can be seen beyond that 10-mile mark. So that already has me scratching my head because wait a minute. The globe model says only 3.1 miles out to the horizon before curvature starts. It's all you should be able to see.
Mhm.
So you see how the globe math isn't quite adding up to measurable, observable, testable reality? Are you seeing that?
I
It's a struggle. I know you can see it. It's that you're struggling though. I can hear the struggle in you, dude. And
well,
it's okay. It'll be
the
all
reason
right.
why I'm struggling with this is also because I'm trying to wrap around just everything in general, because I haven't learned most of the stuff in schooling yet. I'm just going into grade 10 now, so I
Right.
don't know what half the stuff is, to
So
be fully honest.
I bet your biggest question is, well, why would they lie, right?
Yeah.
It's usually the big, yeah, why would they lie? Well, think about it for a second. If you wanted to take control of this entire earth, how would you do it? How would you do it? I know how I'd do it. I'd control people's minds. And I can do that by convincing people that they live on this spinning wet ball. I can lie to you about the very place that you live and you believe it. Oh, I can tell you anything and you'll believe it. I've got full control of your mind. That is exactly how deep this goes. Okay. This is how deep this goes. And I know you said you're 15, so you probably, I don't know if you're getting this, but it's about mind control. It's been this way for the past, 500 years, but like, surprise, this is what they don't teach you in public schools. This is what they won't teach you in history classes. They won't teach you about the cults. They won't teach you about the secret societies. They won't teach you about any of this stuff. This is all stuff you have to go find on your own. That's why we're all here, because we found it on our own.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Um.
sorry, Smiley. Wanted
Sorry
to
about
add to that because, why would they lie is, a very common question. And we definitely agree with Jenna's points. But something to add to that is it more important that they did lie or why they lied? Right? So if you were lied to, wouldn't you want to know that? Like if you could definitively know that, okay, I know that I'm being lied to, right? Or that I'm about to be lied to. Wouldn't you want to know that?
that. Are you asking me personally, or?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to know if I was being lied to or not. And also, why, my biggest question is, why would they lie to us about something that would be so trivial? in the overall aspect of lying to us to control us is the way that the Earth is shaped.
Well, it seems trivial, kind of
There's
from the
a
perspective of, still kind of believing in a globe, right? Because you're like, so what? Big deal. This is kind of all there is, and so what? Right.
it's a very greedy reason, okay? It's a very greedy reason why they do it, and it's to hide technologies and resources for themselves and to keep us all in one general spot.
Okay.
Keep
I
everybody monitored. You already know there's like this AI and facial recognition and all of this monitoring that goes on. It's all about command and control of resources and territories. And if you don't know where the fuck you live, then you don't know what resources or what territories are out there to be had. Just saying.
There's also the money aspect, right? Even though they do print it and is a fiat currency system, they still get a lot of that money that could go to a lot of, humanity, right? And it's not just NASA, but of course all the other tax farms and the countries that have space agencies.
And you mind if I ask a few questions, if that's okay? I don't want to be rude, but like, if the world is flat, is there an end? And if so, how does that work?
I mean, if we only live in a pond, can you fall off of a pond?
Okay, but where does it end?
I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. I haven't been there, and nobody in this room has either. However,
Nobody
there has been
knows.
And no one
people
in
who come
all of
in.
and no one in all of human history has ever come back and reported on it. So there you have it.
But
There's
if
there's
the world,
speculation.
because
I was gonna
I
say that
know,
there, oh,
in like, sorry for interrupting. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that there's speculation um, from the Antarctic research, little blurbs that come up every now and then about how there is an ice wall beyond the ice wall where the quote unquote dome comes down, but I don't subscribe to that. Um, because there's a whole thing behind that. But it's off limits, man. Like if Antarctica is what surrounds us and Antarctica's off limits, then nobody will ever know. They will kill you. They will kill anybody who just tries to go like on their own without permissions.
So is the theory, because I know in older theory that you would just fall off the edge, or you would just, or you would just get turned around and you would find yourself back where you were before.
Well, Smiley,
No,
that's definitely what they tell us, right? In
I mean, that
early
was the
elementary
oldest stuff in
school,
history.
it's sort of ridiculed that way, like, oh, you'll fall off the edge, right? So of course it's not flat, and Christopher Columbus found that out, right? So it's kind of ridiculed in our first instance that we even hear about flat Earth, right? However, I would ask you this question: Do you still think Earth, or that flat Earth, quote unquote, is this disk in space?
Do I believe that it's a disk in space?
Yeah, is that what you think flat Earth is?
That's what I've heard it is. I don't know anything better, but I'm pretty sure that's what you guys believe, yeah?
so
Not
that's
at
what you
all.
have in your mind. That is your preconceived notion that you have in your mind. Okay.
Okay, then what is it? Where are we? If we were to be this flat Earth, are we in space?
Well,
And
I'm glad
if
you
not,
asked.
where are we?
I mean,
We're
I've
here.
got theories on that, but the thing about a theory is it remains a theory and not a fact until it's been able to be proven otherwise, but my theory is it has to do with resonant frequencies and suspended animation, and that's probably like way over your head. I don't
If
know.
it's suspended animation, that means that we have to be
Well,
somewhere or floating, and if so,
well,
where would we
listen,
be floating?
listen.
What he was
It's
asking.
been
That's not what
written.
he was
It's
asking.
been written in ancient scriptures that Earth is stationary with a foundation, with foundations, and this is something that we could detect if there was motion. So scientifically, No motion has ever been detected either, so that matches up with what was written. It's not in motion, it's stationary. Earth is not moving at all. It would be able to be measured if it were.
Yep.
And there's
It's the
no validity.
the celestial bodies that are moving. The sky is moving. The constellations, the stars, these things turn in the sky like hands over the face of a clock. Have you heard the term the face of the earth?
Face of the earth, yeah.
Face of the earth, like the face of a clock.
Yeah.
And you've
Yeah,
heard the wheel in
I
the
haven't ever
sky.
seen any ball clocks, but that'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, and you've heard about the wheel in the sky, right? The
Wheel in the
wheels are
sky?
yeah, the wheel is turning in the sky.
I don't know what that means. I've never heard that saying before.
You're too
Sorry.
young for that song, Sonny.
Hey, well, I think that term didn't just come from the song. I think that was from ancient times. They called it a wheel in the sky because there's an axle point, that Polaris, that everything else revolves just like a record.
It was called the Sky Wheel in Norse cosmology.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean,
Smiley,
he's 15. You know,
If Earth was a spinning ball, it would not just be turning axially; it would be corkscrewing through space.
I need that. Sorry.
but just to kind of bring it back down to earth, right? No pun intended. Your question was kind of, well, where are we then, right? How do we know? And let me tell you, as you just heard all of us kind of say these random factoids of information, there's a lot of stuff to know about the earth that you and me, we're both on right now, right? That's conclusive, that's objective. Me and you, we can both go to the beach and we can make the same observation, right? We can't really disagree. We could go, well, I think the blue is a little more blue and I think it's actually a light green. We could disagree like on something subjective, right? However, we can't disagree on something's measurement, right? So you've been asking some questions, and I was wondering if I could ask you maybe some, like 3 questions.
Go for it.
All right.
I'd love to have a conversation. This is really nice. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, no problem, man. We always kind of ask these questions because I notice it seems like you're genuine, maybe have like a sound changer on your voice, and I totally
Oh
get that.
no! This is I've got this thing. What's it? I don't remember what it's called, but it's the same thing that corpse. I've got an issue with my stomach acid
I'm not
eating my
familiar.
vocal cords, like
Either
around
way,
there.
it's not an issue, but we're always kind of skeptical here. We
I
get a
get
lot
it.
of
Trust me, you
trolls
guys get
and
it
things
all
like
the
that.
fucking time.
But to those questions, right? First question: do you know anyone in history that has ever measured and demonstrated the drop over distance, the curve of the claimed globe geometry?
Do you mind if I look that up, or do you mean as of right now?
You're welcome to look it up. I don't know how fast your Google hands are, but
Probably not. I'll do that another time, and if you're down for another conversation, then when maybe I have
well,
more
no, I mean,
knowledge.
what have you heard?
Well, I mean, what I do know is a ball is like a perfect circle is 360, and
Very
I
true.
haven't got into that. I haven't got into that stuff in math yet.
Well, for instance, do you know how big, say, NASA claims that this globe
No,
spherical is?
I do not know.
All right. I think that suffices, right? When I'm, something that would, sort of be common knowledge, right? Like, oh yeah, so and so, they measured the curve and blah blah blah. We all know it. We have a poster of it. I had it as a kid, right? That's obviously not there, right? Next question, right? Just because we said I don't know who measured this curve.
Mhm.
Do you know who has demonstrated and has verified the spin of this globe?
Well, are you asking for a specific someone? Because I could just say NASA, but
Really anything.
that's well, the only stuff that I know is that about NASA and how they've sent people out there, and how you would slowly see that the sun would slowly rotate around the sun, and spin at a very extremely slow pace, which would
So are you saying pictures and video from NASA, from space?
pictures and videos of NASA, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we can't really use that as proof just because I can't or you can't go verify that yourself, right? I mean, we could claim, oh, well, if I had a bunch of money, I could sort of send a rocket up there, right? But it would never be of the quality, if you will, of NASA, right? And actually, when we really get into it, there's a lot of mishaps, right? Errors, things that don't make a lot of natural sense when you actually inspect those photos and videos, right? It's like somebody going, well, I saw on TV Godzilla, and he was destroying this city. But, just because it's a really good video or even hyper realistic, right? You got deep fakes now where it really looks like Obama and he's talking, but of course it's not, right? Um, would you agree we can't really use videos and photos as proof unless we can actually make those ourselves?
I do believe that's a fair enough assessment, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can't really use that as our evidence of the spin of the Earth, but maybe is there anything else that makes you think that it spins? Anything that comes up?
Well, the only, apart from, everything that I was taught in, my history class, my science class this year, about how with the gravitational pull sun, we would slowly rotate around the sun, causing it, which makes the gravity that we have. But this is a very, very dumbed down way of me explaining, because
Well, I was going to
I
say
do
it's a
not
little all over the place. Too.
yeah, it's very, very dumbed down, because I do not remember everything that I sat in science class this year, but that's around about the assessment that we got in class.
So, if I asked you to come outside with me, outside to the beach, do you think you could prove to me that the Earth was moving and spinning? Do you feel it moving and spinning?
I do not feel it, no.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. But of course, there's this claim that the ball would have to be spinning. Like you said, it would have to be going around the sun, right? So that we could see it across the sky. So do you know? I mean, and it's fine if you just say, I don't know, right? Do you know when they measured the spin of the Earth?
No, I don't.
Awesome, man. Great. First question, we don't know who measured the curve. We don't know who measured the spin, right? Last question. Can you demonstrate, right? Because they say that this spinning ball, if you will, is of course in the vacuum of space, right? Ever expanding. Now they've changed the story here and there, right? They've said that it was a big bang, right? Quite exciting. The first explosion to create supposedly everything, right? They told, of course, all of us the exact same story. So we need to be able to verify that, right? Because me and you, we're breathing air, at 14 psi roughly right now, right? So I would say that my last question to you is, can we demonstrate gas pressure without a container?
Well, the first thing is that I can't exactly say that I believe in the Big Bang either, because I believe God created the earth in 7 days. And
it's a great start.
That I believe I'm a Christian. That's my value. My view. I don't believe that the earth was created by a Big Bang.
That's so great, actually, because the Earth was created before the sun. So, what in the heck was the Earth moving around if the sun was created after the Earth? And so, like I said, that's why heliocentrism is a religion, okay? Because they have like the sun and the Earth and all this, but the Earth was created first, and then there was the greater day, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser night to rule the night, and it was the sun and the moon.
Yeah, and I would have to agree. It's a story that I would agree fits a lot better than sort of this Big Bang story, right? That if you stick around here, you can even find out where that came from, right? And how it just starts to add and build to this story of this globe lie. But anyway, to the question, just want to kind of get that consensus, whether you know or not. You might know of a demonstration of gas pressure without a container, right? We would need to have, uh, of course, something between this pressure of air that we're breathing and, of course, the vacuum of space that they claim. Of course, the ISS is out there, maybe in low Earth orbit, right? They've told us a lot of things. So could you demonstrate gas pressure without a container?
Isn't the thing that's keeping us, from all dying, isn't that called the ozone, or am I wrong? Sorry, I do not focus enough
It's
in science
definitely
class.
it's been called that
Okay.
for sure, right? They even claim like, oh, there's a hole in the ozone layer in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
However, they've kind of stopped saying that, generally speaking. But yeah, a hole in what? Are we saying that there's like this glass bubble around the globe somehow, and they sort of just bloop, sort of exit?
Isn't it the amount of carbon dioxide in the air that's keeping keeping us in the vacuum space? I do not remember. I'm sorry. I'm just genuinely enjoying this conversation. Like, I'm sorry if before it sounded like when I came on that I may have looked like a troll, because I'm guessing you guys get that all the time.
Not at all, man.
But like when I came on, I genuinely meant to have a genuine conversation about something that I do not fully understand, and I'd like to look at the other people's perspective.
Yeah,
Because
me,
I believe
me and you
perspective is
both.
key.
Because I would say actually a lot of us are here not only to kind of help fellow people that are still sort of in this deception of a globe, because we were all there too, right? But honestly, we're trying to figure out why everybody still believes in this globe. And they think that, well, we believe in a flat earth, and that's not really true. I can't believe in how tall I am. I can measure it, and then I know how tall I am. In fact, I would try to remove believe entirely out of your vocabulary, right? There's a reason why lie, Lie, is right in the middle of believe, right? It's what you have to do, of course, to do something. Now it's okay. I said they say white lies can be healthy, right? However, the globe versus flat is not a white lie. In fact, it's even seems like a minuscule deception. However, it's changing the foundations of what everybody's worldview is. For instance, they could say something is falling out of the sky and it's coming from Jupiter, right? And a lot of people would believe that. When, of course, somebody who knows that the Earth is not a spinning space ball would never fall for such a story. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Because really
But
here, we're just here to kind of show you some information. And really the point of those questions, just because I'm going to say that you probably don't know of, gas pressure without a container.
are you talking about like the ozone, or just like the theory or the practice, the testing? I don't know. Sorry, what do you mean? Sorry.
Take a soda can, okay? Take a soda can, for example, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And it has gas infused in the soda, right? That
Yeah.
carbonation, okay? That's a gas. If I shake that soda and I bust it open, I bust a hole in it, I make it an open container, it's going to go everywhere, okay? Because it's a pressurized thing. Okay. So, like, its contents will leave the container. Okay. And so that's what we're trying to say. Like, there's this whole theory of gravity on Earth, but there's no gravity in space. And you can't have that. You have to have some sort of containment for this pressurized gases that we breathe, or the contents. The contents of our container would leak into space, and we'd all be screwed. You know, it defies physics. That's the whole thing I'm getting at. It
Okay.
defies fundamental laws of physics. You know, so
But the thing is, what I looked up here is that the Earth is the ozone layer is made up of 3 different types of oxygen molecules, and that's what's keeping the Earth. This is what it says:
So are
is a
you saying
gas
the
made up of
gas
3
is
oxygen
containing the
atoms.
gas?
Yes, O3. It occurs
Do you have a
naturally.
demonstration of gas containing a
Well,
gas?
wouldn't some gases be denser and thicker than other gases?
Sure, but even supposedly on the edge of space, right? Is the air more dense or less dense?
In space?
Or
Isn't there
as we
no air?
rise, as we rise up, right? If I was to, get a ladder and, just keep going up and up and up, would the air get denser?
I would get thinner, no?
Exactly. Right. So how is there this less dense air and then suddenly, there's this dense air holding in all the other air? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's a weird sandwich. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, there might be a demonstration you know of where there's gas pressure holding gas pressure. Is this the case? It's fine if you
that
don't
sounds
know.
like a pseudo sandwich.
That's the equivalent of like, I'm going to go buy some propane at my local store, right? And I go, don't worry about the container. Just give me the gas. All right, I've got this gas bag. You can't see it. It's gas. Don't worry, I'm holding it right now. Don't worry, I got all of it. You see how ridiculous that might sound?
So it's something you can't see, so it's very hard to believe in if you physically see it.
Well, it's not
Right?
that I can't see it. It's just that it doesn't work.
Fair
It's
enough.
okay,
Yeah,
wind
I do not
exists,
know.
right? Even though we can't see it, we do see what it does to trees, though. We do what it sees to grandma when it blows her over on the beach.
Mhm.
But do we have any demonstration of this gas holding another gas? Some people claim gravity. Well, that's great. Do we have an instance, an experiment, a demonstration, anything that shows gas holding another gas? In fact, we have some GIFs here. I don't know if you're actually familiar with the live stream voice text, but there's been actually a lot of really great posts, especially about the gas pressure. That especially if you're really new to this, it can be honestly a lot to take in.
I do not know, sadly, but it would be great to learn.
Yeah, and all we can ever ask for, man, is sort of intellectual honesty. And I just want to conclude with those 3 questions because, just so you understand, the first question, where's the curve, right? That's something we would need. That's what something the globe claims, right? That's not some flat earther claim. We're flat earthers because, of course, we falsified the globe. And there's just sort of this default of, well, we're here all together. We don't know what shape it is. It could be lake shaped, right? Which is why we were saying, can you fall off a lake? Right? So then it's the same thing with where's the edge, right? Where's the edge of this expanding universe? Well, I don't know. I haven't been there. Well, okay, then. So how is that any more proof, right? What we're trying to say is, of course, that the geometry in that first question, it doesn't add up, right? The globe is not found in reality. The spin of the earth, you said it yourself. I don't feel like I'm spinning. Well, me neither, man. And of course, the last one, we're all breathing gas pressure right now. That is a fact. And yet, I'm not saying I know what the container is, but I do know a container is the antecedent to gas pressure. So, what I'm trying to tell you is you only believe that the curvature of the earth has been measured. You only believe that people have told you it's spinning. And you only believe that it's somehow in a vacuum of space, second thermodynamics law violation, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I open it up honestly to the rest of the panel. I've been talking a lot, but I think you enjoyed it, and I think it's hitting home. I like to kind of go a little slower, add some tidbit information, because you do seem at least genuinely interested. But yeah, if you had questions for us, all of us, we can surely answer them.
I have one, like, a question about um the film that came out in 2018, the Behind the Curve, about how a flat Earth, it was like a $20,000 machine. It's like
The
20
gyroscope.
200,000. I don't remember what
Right.
it was called. And he proved himself wrong. My question is, haven't watched the film. I only know a little bit about it, and I wanted to ask why. How does that work for you guys? And if so, um,
So what you heard was false, right? And what I'm trying to say is, of course, anything could be on TV, right? We can't just trust what we see on TV or read in a Facebook post, or we actually have to do this ourselves, right? That's the only way you can know for yourself, right? You can't trust some guy even next to you, even if that person next to you is your mom or your dad, right? Not to say that they're going to lie to you, but you got to know for yourself, right? Now, specifically to that movie, let's face it. Do you think they're going to post a video about how the entire worldview is completely wrong to everybody? No, of course not. They're going to try and swindle their way to make entertainment, right? And of course, a large majority like laughing at flat earthers. Oh, there you go. You got a hit piece right now. All we got to do is make it look like, and you've seen this before, right? You've seen Photoshop. You've seen manipulation of showing view angles. You've seen manipulations of showing certain shots after each other. Sounds can even influence how you feel about information. So, I mean, without even watching it, you'd really have to inspect it yourself, wouldn't you? Right? You'd have to watch it yourself and go, well, I need to actually try this, or maybe be really specific about what I saw. Like, for instance, I saw at 25 minutes in, Bob Nodell says this, this, and this. Does anybody know what he means by this, and could it be further explained? Why, yes, right? But simply coming in with a question, especially in this form, just going, well, I saw something that says it debunks flat Earth. That's really hearsay, and I just hope you know the difference between hearsay and, of course, knowing it for yourself. Hopefully that answers the question.
yeah, thank you. It does. It's also like really nice to have a. I appreciate you for not jumping on top of me for asking that question.
No, never at all, man. So I'm a professor in real life,
Oh, what do
and
you teach, if you don't mind me
I
asking?
teach architecture. And you'd be
Oh, cool.
surprised. I've heard all the questions. There is. I've heard an 18-year-old student go, "What did we use before Google Maps?" And I, just kind of rolled my eyes a little bit. Of course we used maps, right? They're flat, they're on paper. They're wonderful projections of at least something close to our locality. Because, like even flat Earth has been sort of bastardized, for lack of a better term, right? Oh, you're a flat earther? Well, no, I'm a human, just like you, dude. We live on the same Earth. So it's become this term like conspiracy theorists, right? What does that mean? Well, it's a coined term so that when the public hears it, they disregard whatever that person has to say, right? So just like flat earther, most of us in here, we're just earthers, and we just know that it's not a globe. We were taught the same story, but it wasn't until we tested that globe, because trust me, I think a lot of us in here can definitely tell you we were like, no way, I got to test this for myself. Like, we kind of, got jittery about it. Some of us figured it out in a week. Some of us went back and forth for years, right? However, it's like finding out about Santa Claus. Like, no, 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 my parents wouldn't lie to me, right? You're telling me everybody would have to lie to me? Well, yeah, right. Yeah, well, what do you think Santa Claus is? It's this copied tradition. It's this honestly control. It's a program, right? It makes a lot of money around December and in July in the southern part of the earth. But I hope you get my point. I
Oh yeah,
tend to
definitely.
ramble. Yeah.
But if that is true, then doesn't that mean that like everyone that you know and you love is either
That they're lying?
is either that they're lying or they just don't know the truth? And if
So
so, how did
it,
they keep such a big thing like this?
well, two things. So no, sometimes if you don't know that you're lying, this is kind of subjective too. If you don't know that you're lying, are you really hurting anyone? Right? You believe the story too, so you keep teaching the lie, right? For instance, I'm a parent myself, and even me and my wife kind of go back and forth about this because she loves the celebration, right? Especially of winter solstice, which she believes is, of course, the real celebration. But she's also like, I don't want to rob my kids of the joy of Santa Claus, and I'm thinking to myself, well, are you really robbing them that joy, right? Um, what I'm trying to say is, of course, it becomes a cultural thing that people back up, right? It's something you were taught since kindergarten, right? They had a globe in the classroom. Now, they told you at such a young age about this because you couldn't form an argument against it. In fact, they never proved it to you either, right? They never gave you the proof of the curvature, the proof of the spin, or the proof that it was out in the middle of space. They just told you that it was so, which is why you can't answer it today, and neither can I. And anytime that I look into it even more and more, I find more truth that there's so many things that actually don't add up to this globe model, right? Not to say that that means there must be a flat earth model, right? Because there is a lot of deception going around, right? There's people out there saying absolute nonsense, such as a disc pizza flying through space, so that you will never look into the topic at all. Which actually might be my next question. How did you run across this, Smiley?
Originally, this was probably around about a year or so back
Yeah, you
when
said you were
I
in here
was in.
before.
Yeah, I had joined a call like this, um, a year or so back. I think it was a ladies' night. Um,
Good times.
yeah, I don't remember who the moderators were. There were two lovely ladies who I had a lovely conversation. Got a bit, but it was a lovely conversation. Um, it was originally I had joined. I will be brutally honest. Years.
You're breaking up a bit.
Oh, hello. Hi. Sorry about that. Originally, a year or so back, I joined as a joke because I was stupid and I was very much immature.
We all are at
And
some point.
but when I got into the call, I was very mature in the way that I spoke and the way that because I was actually genuinely curious. I joined as a joke, but I was curious once I joined. And I had a lovely conversation, and I left a while back, but I rejoined recently because I refound the Discord, and because I remembered that I'm subscribed to the Discord. I'm subscribed to the YouTube, the streaming, the live streaming,
Right.
and I remembered that I had such a lovely conversation last. To come back and have another lovely conversation now, where I can view it differently than when I viewed it back then.
Yeah.
And speak to new people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, based on even just our conversation, do you feel like you've learned something? Do you still feel that it's a globe?
Due to my personal beliefs, I do personally still think it's a globe. But I've really enjoyed the conversation because it makes me. I'm now probably going to second guess myself to most of the stuff.
Hey, it's all right. Hey, it's good to have you in. But can I ask you one question?
Yeah, please.
I don't know if you're leaving, but
not
what would you say the percentage is that you believe in the globe, like from 1 to 100? What is the percentage?
In my personal belief, Are you asking, Sonny?
Yes.
I'm probably around 75% sure
Okay.
that
So
that's
now let me ask you, since you admittedly 75%. Okay. So, um, um, what? Okay. Let me word this right.
Mhm.
What else in life, in your entire life, are you 75% sure with zero evidence?
what in life am I 75% sure with zero evidence?
No. What else? What other endeavor in your entire
Oh,
life, like any other thing, any other part of your life, do you rely that you're 75% sure with zero evidence? What do you use that in any other part of your life?
that I listen to my teachers and I believe what they say. I'm 75% sure that they're saying is right, but I don't know.
So you're going by a 75% surety with zero evidence. What I'm
Yep.
asking is the answer about the teacher is not an answer to that question. You would have to say, okay, in my relationship with my girlfriend, or my relationship with that you use this, or my thoughts about any given topic or any other area of my life, do I operate like a 75% surety with zero evidence? So your answer would be something like, well, yes, in this part of my life, or you don't use it in any other part of your life, but only the globe Earth topic.
I guess it's the only the other stuff that I would agree with is that like my relationship standing point with other people, because I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that there's a connection between us as people, but I don't believe that that's a 100% truth.
Well, you probably have
Because
evidence. You probably have evidence, though, for your relationships, but you don't have evidence for the globe. But yet you still are 75% sure, as you are of your other relationships, that you may be 75% sure, but you have evidence to back that 75% surety. With the globe Earth, you have no evidence, which has been pointed out so well by the panel here.
the
So you
reason
only, so you
why I
only, so
believe,
hold
sorry,
on. Let me just finish. I'm sorry. I am
I
kind
didn't
of
mean to interrupt
long-winded.
you.
It's okay. I am kind of long-winded, and I have pauses where I'm not quite done, but that's okay. Like, so what I'm trying to get at is this 75% surety, or some people have this percentage of surety, but mostly you would never operate anywhere else in your life with that kind of surety with zero evidence. You would always have evidence to back up that surety level. But what I'm saying is, you do not have that with the earth. So you truly were being honest when you said your belief, because with the globe earth, that's all you have. Otherwise, you would have been able to give an answer for the three questions or points, which are the curvature directly measured, detection of axial rotation, motion detected, and the demonstration of gas pressure being contained without a physical barrier. So those three questions, you admitted genuinely and authentically that you didn't know the answer to those questions. So therefore, what it says, along with the surety level that you have with zero evidence, that you just have a religious belief in the globe. And that's fair because you haven't taken the numbers yet and gone out and looked for yourself to test it. So right now you just have a religious belief. That's all.
Okay, yeah. I just I believe what my parents tell me, and
Yeah.
I
Okay.
believe what.
So let me ask another question. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so quick, but
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
please
stop
go for
after
it.
this. So let me ask you this. Are, are you sure? Are you sitting on Discord? Are you sitting at your desk or wherever, sitting there talking to us on Discord right now?
Yeah, I'm sitting to you, speaking to you on Discord. Yes.
Okay. And how sure are you percentage that you're talking to me on Discord right now? How
Well,
sure?
right now I'm staring at your profile, Sunny, and I can see in your about me, Earth is flat. That's a natural fact. So I'm almost 100% sure that I'm looking at you on Discord.
Awesome, man. So that is one of the first times we've ever heard that from any Glober, believe it or not. We
And
may
I'm talking to you on Discord. You're joking, right?
So no, I'm not joking. People would say no, I'm 99.99999. I could be a jar. I could be in a jar, a brain in a jar. That's what we get from a lot of Globers. They're not even sure if they're sitting at their desk talking with me or anyone else here. But you were 100% sure. That is correct. You are absolutely 100% sure. I assure you it's 100% sure on my side as well. I know that I'm sitting there talking to somebody that's a real human being with real feelings, real life, a real experience. And so there you have it. So all we're doing is taking what can absolutely be known about Earth, which is we go out and look outside. The flat Earth that we are talking about is right outside your door. It's not something else that flat earthers got together and made up. So we discussed part of this about the psyop of what's being presented about flat earth is ridiculous. That's why they have these little captions underneath everything that's flat earth. And they're saying that it's scientifically unfounded. But what we found is that the globe earth is not scientific at all. It's not even in the realm of science. But when was it proven that the globe earth was true?
I just if you're asking me personally, when I believe if I do know that at a certain time that it was proven true, I don't know. I haven't done enough.
Yeah. And that's why we like you, because you're being honest about that. And we get a lot of dishonesty when it gets to this point, basically. So I appreciate your honesty here. And so,
Smiley,
yeah.
and Smiley, I think this is how it sort of perpetuates the lie, because you appeal to the authority of your teachers and that without having any evidence. And this is when people say, why would they lie, or how do they keep it concealed? It's not really that hard if everyone just takes blind belief in an authority figure without doing any research. They just rely on no one will actually look at any evidence. Because when you actually dig deep into it, you realise that there's nothing there. There's no evidence to what they're presenting. But we still just parrot everything, even though 90% of the time Globers don't even know anything about the model they're defending, but they just go in and defend it blindly. It's really strange. And if you can separate that in your mind and just realise, like, I don't even actually know anything about why I believe in this, then that's sort of the first step. And then obviously investigating it and realising that it makes total and it's nonsensical. And what you see is actually makes more sense, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you done there, Chubbs?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I'd just like to apologize to you real quick, because early in your conversation, I called you a liar in the text, and you really you really made me pleased with how this conversation went. You seem very genuine and honest, and the reason why I called you a liar is because it's the way how the conversation started. It seemed dishonest by the way you said you didn't care really about the subject, but you want to have an honest conversation. So that's kind of, you can't really have an honest conversation if you have no interest in the topic, you know?
Yes, okay, then maybe I misunderstood. Maybe I misexplained how I meant it. I mean, I do not personally mind whatever your beliefs are. Like, I will not attack you for whatever your beliefs are. I will not say that you are wrong, because that is your personal belief, and I will not fight you on that. I will not try and prove you wrong. I will not try to change your mind. I just wanted to have a conversation so you may change my mind.
It's fine. It's totally fine. It's cool.
Yeah, that let's not get the names mixed up because this person is Smiley, not Chubbs.
No, yeah, I was asking Chubbs if he was done talking to
Yeah,
Smiley.
he was just talking to me, Sonny.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Hey, I wanna let him know too that when we're talking about education and school system, there's not a lot of intelligence in the school system. You're not really expanding your mind and learning how to think for yourself and question things. Really, all it is memorization and regurgitation. That's how you get through in school and get good grades. And if the information you're learning is full of, lies, then it's not even knowledge really. It's totally useless.
Right, right. And the other thing is you mentioned teachers. Now, I can't remember any specifics actually about what they taught. Now, I looked those things up myself just because I had an interest in all of those things, like astronomy and how large the sun was and the distances and all of that. Now, but I don't ever recall having a chance to digest the information and then to be able to logically rebut it in any way. There never seemed to be an opportunity to do that. Now, did you have a different experience? Were you presented information where you had a discussion about it? Or were you just told this is what it is and not to question it?
I was given the information and I was told to copy it down in my notes and study it religiously, and then write it down on an exam paper that will eventually make my mark. And if I fail, I fail.
Okay, so what did you have a test like that on Earth itself?
I had it on Earth, how it first got formed, the different cycles of time from
Okay.
when the first thing was created.
I see. So you actually were taught that in school then?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I wasn't, but I was going to school during the Apollo era.
Oh
Oh,
man.
you were taught via the Apollo. What do you mean? Like you were taught?
I was in school. I was 10 years old in 1968.
Yeah, I'm to
Holy
Gemini also.
Shh! Hold on. Damn, I'm a baby. Holy crap, bro!
Yeah,
I was born in 2007.
right. I remember
Nice.
July. I remember what the day was like in July 1969, July 21st, or whenever they supposedly landed on the moon. I remember the day. I was alive during all that period. I remember writing 1964 on my school paperwork. That was when I was
Holy,
6, 7 years old.
holy. Oh my
Yeah,
man,
Sonny.
There's a couple of us in here that are my age or older, even.
bro! I feel unborn.
God
Holy
rocking one of
crap!
them. Yeah, I was born in the 50s. So I've seen technologies come and go and whole generations pass before my eyes, really, literally, and I'm still here.
You were born in the.
I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still alive and I'm still thrive. I'm still going to learn how to thrive if it takes me my entire life.
Oh, Aish, man.
So listen, you like this knowledge of like what Earth is. It's actually it's quite profound, and to say that it's trivial is trivializing something that is a major fact of our lives, our perception of ourselves, and in the reality that we exist in. That's the most profound thing. And so I'll tell you right now, I have the ability to rejuvenate because I've connected with this earth again. It heals me every night. There's more reasons that I should not be here at all than for me to still be here speaking to you in any kind of coherent manner is a miracle.
Yeah. All right.
And it's
Ish.
1313 in military time on the West Coast here. August 4th, 1313. So I'm having a couple sips of some Guinness. I already had breakfast. I'm boiling some water, distilled water. I have quite an active life. I've got my
Man.
bicycle waiting for me, and I'll be out on that in a matter of minutes.
So you're like, damn, holy man, I feel rejuvenated and young.
Great. That's all that's all I would ever hope for, that I could present something to you where you would feel invigorated too, because I've had to rely on this source, and the source is not from me or you. It's from Earth, and the Creator put it all here for us. We're literally between heaven and earth in the middle. We're electrical beings.
I had sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just had another few more questions, if that's okay.
Sure.
Because last time I was here, I had a conversation about this, and they said that beyond the, if you eventually go out, let's say you've sailed out or like to the border of the world, past that border is where you see God. Is that how other people view it as well? Because that's how those ladies.
That I think is quite a personal question. So I think that would have to be left to each individual of what we speculate on, because speculation is really only in our minds anyway, right? So
There's
when
not like one main view.
when there's empirical value or empirical truths, in other words, something that is observable, testable, repeatable, and falsifiable, then when we rely on information like that, and we can do that by going out and observing Earth as it actually exists in our experience, any of us can do this. So that's different than just speculation. So now, if your speculation matches reality, that's the caveat. If it does match reality, then you have to stop and go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Might
It
have to
really doesn't help anyone to just speculate. Like, it doesn't solve anything. People, you don't have to fill the void of not knowing something. That's exactly why they're in the problem we are, because they just gave us all this propaganda and just repeat until everyone blindly follows it. So there's no point in just speculating on something we can't prove. So it's just pointless.
I mean, it can
Jobs.
be fun to speculate, right?
Yeah.
but yeah, you got to stay grounded in your reality, and you got to remember one thing too. Regardless of what you think about God or any of that,
Mm-hmm.
flat Earth does prove a creator without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. They do have to agree, because you guys obviously didn't come out of nowhere, and it had to come from somewhere. And my question is, Chubbs, might I ask, where are you from?
I'm from Australia.
Okay, mind if I ask? Okay, now I have another question. Because a little while ago, like I said, a few years ago, I had a conversation, and I don't remember if it was one of those ladies' person's point, but it was a point of view where it was the belief that there was no such thing as Australia. How does that work?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think that was an old thing. I'm not sure how that came about. I have heard someone speak on it, so someone may be able to expand on that. Sonny, maybe.
I don't even remember. I think that was some kind
I
of
can answer that one.
2015. I think that was some kind of 2015 thing, basically saying that it was a misnomer. Actually, it was taken the wrong way, because we were saying if Australia exists on a ball, it would have to be upside down. So then the Globers just started saying that flat earthers don't believe Australia exists.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't in this call. Maybe it was probably during that time when I was talking to, because my friends gave me the Discord, and they probably made a joke. Like, I do not remember. It was just
Smiley.
around that time
I
period.
think
I
I think
can
that
confirm.
I think that whole thing was a misunderstanding of our point of view. Actually, another one.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was just
I
going
was
to say
just
where it originates from.
Oh, where does it
Um,
originate from?
So, are you familiar with the Flat Earth Society?
Yes, I've heard a lot about them.
So, do you know if they make real claims or maybe
No,
claims that make Flat Earth look dumb?
well, a lot of the stuff that they say sounds kind of ridiculous.
Exactly. And so, of course, that actually originates, I think, actually like 1970s. Don't quote me on the guy who was that major proponent. There was like 5 dudes that, were questionable, that created this quote unquote flat earth society, right? Saying ridiculous claims like a disc in space rising up, that Australia doesn't exist, and, a lot of ridiculous things. But yeah, that one's actually pretty old. And of course, we do not represent the Flat Earth Society.
It's a good way to make everyone in the movement just look absolutely nuts. Essentially, you're just controlling both sides of the argument, which is what they do with everything. It's time old trick.
And is it also true that, like, I don't know if this is another thing that was claimed or some other people made this claim or something like that, but there was a, like, I don't remember where I heard it from, but it was that if you cross the border that is surrounded the Earth, the government will kill you or something like that. I don't know.
The border of what? Sorry,
the border of like the Earth, that like where like Antarctica is.
No, the 60th parallel. The Antarctic Treaty is what he's referring to.
Yeah, so there is a treaty which you can't travel freely. You'll be detained.
You'll get detained? Why is that?
They want to protect the penguins.
Oh, so there are actual people all the way out there who will arrest you. Interesting. I didn't know that.
There's
We'd arrest you where?
By Antarctica. I mean, that's what I'm getting told. I mean, you'll be detained if you go all the way out there.
Nobody lives in
No.
Antarctica except for researchers.
Those waters are heavily patrolled by all the governments of the world that signed that treaty.
Oh, okay.
It's like a group effort.
And if you don't have their permission, go beyond that marker, yes, they are going to stop you.
They'll turn you around. There's heaps of videos of them actually sending boats and that back.
Smiley,
that's actually kind of odd. It's
kind of interesting because you came in here and you didn't really know much about the globe, right? But you seem to know a lot about the sort of straw men and the bad side of the flat Earth, which is kind of interesting to me that you.
Because originally, like I said, I had joined this Discord as a joke. Like years back, I had like a year back. My friend gave me the Discord to join.
Things in this Discord, my friend. The things you're asking about. Okay.
That's why I'm asking you, is that like the point of view of you guys or the point of view of others? Or is it like what, where do these stories come from? Because it has to come from someone.
If I could jut in one more time, because there was actually a guy here, I forget sort of what his last name was. I remember it was Steven or something like that. But he'd actually, supposedly at least gave his, sort of testimony, if you will. He was down sort of by like way south of South America, right? I forget what the island is, but he was actually stationed on a battleship. And, he was talking about, it was actually for this war and things like that. But then they were told to actually go right at the 60th latitude, right? Which is, of course, what we're talking about is the Antarctic Treaty, right? Which is a very suspicious thing. that was pretty much signed around the same time of the forming of NASA, right? So this isn't speculation, really. Those are, of course, objective facts. These things happened, and you can't simply travel anywhere you want. I mean, right? We saw even 3 years ago, you couldn't step outside, right? But his testimony that he was giving is that there were some people that would basically try and go in a little boat, or basically go a little too in that direction south to Antarctica, right? And that they would actually have to stop them, right? And we even asked him, would you guys have to open fire if they didn't listen? Do you give a warning? And he even told us the procedure, right? That they sort of, worst case scenario, they shoot like a warning shot. Loudspeaker says, turn back. You're in, restricted waters. So there's definitely evidence, right? And he's not just the only evidence, but it's kind of special to the server, just because I remember that day he came in and he kind of talked for hours. And we were kind of just like, well, there you go, right? The guy who was actually, of course, in charge of, shooting individuals that don't obey this treaty, right? But yeah, he's not the only account either.
It's not just the Antarctic Treaty either. There's a lot of restricted airspaces everywhere where you're not allowed. If you fly a plane over there, they will send a jet and intercept you. You're not allowed to fly over the North Pole. It's restricted airspace.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know a lot of this information.
Did
Here
you say
again.
when did you start learning about the Flat Earth Society? Like, how old were you?
Well, when I first heard about it, I saw it on cartoons on TV. Oh, one
The
second.
Flat Earth
Somebody
Society?
before. Yeah.
It's August 4th.
I didn't know they had cartoons about the Flat Earth Society.
Well, they would. The cartoons would usually make fun of the idea of the Earth on a disc.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay.
And that's where I first saw about it. But I'll be right back. By the way, Sunny, if you're there, I spoke to you back in 2020 when I first the Discord. But I'll be right back. I have to dinner. I have to go eat dinner with my family. I'll be right back. Hello? Sorry. Hi. But yeah, Sonny, I knew you from back in 2021. You were in that call.
I'm telling you, I knew it. I knew it, man.
I'd spoken to you before. It's crazy. Hi, it's good to see you again, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's actually quite amazing. And it's almost been 4 years, I think so.
4 years since then?
Yeah, I think it's been.
It was back in 2021.
Yeah, let's see. I started in August of 2020. I started here, so it's going to be 4 years next.
I was 13 at the time.
Yeah. See, I remember. Did you come in by yourself? I think you did. Or
Yeah,
you
I did.
come with a group? Okay. Because there's some people, and probably if it had only been like a year or two, I'd be able to remember a lot of the names of even a lot of the trolls that ended up coming back and staying. But a lot of those are silvers and golds here now, are the people that came into troll. And they decided to stay. Yeah, they stayed because they couldn't refute what we were telling. Once they got past their own cogniz, like once they got past their bias, and they could settle down a little bit, because young people get excited and they want to be firm on their choice because they want to be heard. They want to think they have their own voice. That's fine. But this information is it's so incredible that it gets to the point where it's irrefutable. And the only thing you're left with is your own experience. You go like, holy shit, well, the irrefutable lines up with reality as I experience, and every other human does too. And also practically uses Earth in any kind of motion above near or below the surface, like as in underwater, undersea, we don't use any kind of curvature. Even a freaking fighter F-15 going 1,000 miles an hour at 10 feet above the deck, no adjustment.
Yeah,
I hope you heard what I
100%.
said. Yeah, you heard
Yeah,
what
I
I
did.
said, right? Yeah.
Mm.
So
It's good to
this,
see that people eventually, like, once they've changed. Like, I like talking to people when they have an open mind, because open minds, you get to see, you get to have a genuine conversation with someone, and they have willing dude from
yeah. And look, I've learned from my own mistakes.
yeah.
Like I've blown people out like you, and actually banned people that I got upset with. I got triggered. That's on me. Like we all do the best we can, and so we all learn how to do this thing, because this is not just a regular conversation. It ties into people's beliefs about where and who they are, and that's why they can get really triggered, and I can get triggered as well by certain things if I feel people are and it's like almost the intuitive sense. And I think a lot of us, it seems to be a conglomeration of very talented uh, artists and creative people here with great intuitive skills. Like we learned so many different things about each other's voices here. It's scary. It really is. And then continuing each other's conversations as if you were in the same room with your twin brother times 10.
I don't know, but Smiley does sound a lot older than 17.
Yeah, I know. I'm not 17. I'm 15, and trust me, it's enough to deal with.
Okay, well, if you were 13 almost 4 years ago when you talked to Sonny.
Yeah, I was
and
born
you're
in
only 16
September.
now?
I'm 15. I'm turning 16 in September. This September, son.
Well, you still sound a lot older.
I know, I do. I get told that a lot.
Well, me, on the other hand, everybody thinks I'm younger.
Wait, really? You sound like you sound like you're in your early 20s, like probably 20, 21, maybe 19 even.
He was born the same year I was.
What? You're kidding me.
No, we were both born the year NASA was created. Sorry to doxy both of us, but I don't think he minds. Yeah. And Wave Mixer's a trip, man. He's got a
Wave
picture.
Mixer sounds like he has a peach fuzz mustache.
I
I love you, Wave Mixer.
Yeah, it's
Well, don't let my wife hear that. She gets jealous. And my peach fuzz mustache went away in 6th grade. I started shaving when I was in 7th grade, and haven't stopped since. Well, yeah, I did. I still have a mustache. I don't shave it.
You got any more questions, Smiley?
Hold up. So I'm just gonna quickly grasp something quickly here. You're 65?
Yes. We're both 65. We just turned 65.
Well, happy birthday. Well, first to say, sorry, happy late birthday if I've missed it. But I wish you many more great years to come.
Hey, Wave Mixer. Happy birthday, Wave Mixer. I know you just.
Thank you. You know, my birthday was the day after that last meetup that you didn't come to.
So that makes you into the after Leo, then, doesn't it?
I can't.
You got a new grandchild? Was the baby born?
Oh, you're a
my wife hasn't called me yet, but they induced labor. She went into the hospital yesterday at 3. They were going to be inducing labor probably around 6. So, we're just waiting.
Wait a minute. So you're a Cancer like me? Did I get the date wrong?
June 25th.
Oh, that's right. You are a Cancer like me. So That's very interesting because look at the intricacy at which we work, like at the component level and like tinkering
Oh,
with stuff like that. We both have that.
Sonny's thin with a lot of hair, and I'm fat with hardly any.
No, I hardly had any hair, and I have long silver hair, but I I
So
I wasn't shaving until I was like 26 or older. I barely could shave. I didn't have any hair.
And I was buying booze at the liquor store without getting carded when I was 16.
Yeah, yeah. So,
holy.
yeah, we're old time. We're dinosaurs.
My head trying to get wrapped around this shit.
So I looked like Smiley sounds.
What's
Oh
that?
my
What did you say?
When I was a kid, I looked like Smiley sounds.
Okay. What really? Okay, so Can I ask you a quick question? Are you at the age of like 15 to 16? Are you also have did you also have the capabilities to grow a beard as well? Because
Well, I was going into liquor stores and I wasn't getting carded. I had a mustache and sideburns.
oh my word, I have a full ass beard, and man, man, is it hard to sometimes like change people's mind, to prove how old I am.
A full ass beard. That brought to thoughts to my mind that I'd rather not think about.
I, uh, I turned, man, wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm not 16. I'm 15. You're right. I'm not 16. Damn, man, I'm getting,
Are you sure you're not 38?
me? No, I'm pretty sure. Well, my school ID says that I was born in 2007, the 6th of September. So,
That's what it is then.
I feel, oh my, that is mind-boggling to me. And pretty amazing. It's great to see like all different ages and walks of life in one community. I'm gonna be honest, I have never met somebody in their 60s on Discord before. Well, I met you, but I didn't know you were 60, Sonny.
Stop the cap.
Look, man, the the truth, truth is very powerful. It brings people together, and it always comes to the light.
So true. Dates don't. Man, that's amazing. Good job, man. Well, in a short period of time, I'm gonna have to sadly take my leave. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but do you guys know D&D?
of course, man. I just wanted to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
Because it does seem like, um, do you feel that knowing that this is a diverse community of truth seekers, right?
Mhm.
Does that help you maybe understand that maybe this topic of flat Earth isn't as crazy as it first sounds?
Definitely. I don't believe it's as crazy as it first sounds, and I do believe that it probably has merit behind it.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to thank you for an honest conversation, and wish you on your way. Hope you're back here to ask more questions.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it. It's just it's nice to talk to people who would take me seriously, but not take it in the sense that I'm trying to be disrespectful.
Well, we're on the internet, so time will tell. It always does.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
It's always nice meeting new people from all different walks of life. And
Just make sure to check out all the resources on this link too.
Oh, which link?
On this server. There's a
where would I
body of information.
Where would I find that information, if you don't mind me asking? Is which chat would that be in?
Just scroll down from the server link, and there's just a list of all topics.
I see. Server link.
Just keep going down till you get to additional information, or there's all other.
Oh, additional information. Okay, so like long distance observation.
Yeah.
The celestial navigation stuff?
Yeah, just be sure to check all that out.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I'll make sure to do that. And maybe next time I can come in with a proper... I can actually add to the conversation instead of sitting and listening.
Let's go. Have a good day, man.
You do too. Take care of yourselves. To like everybody in the call or whoever's watching, stuff like that, go take care of yourselves. If you guys haven't had any water or had anything to drink, go get that. You definitely deserve it. You guys are lovely people, and I really enjoyed the conversation I had with you. Genuinely wish you guys the best, and I hope to catch you guys around if you guys are still around. Like when I'm back.
Smiley, before you go,
you'll be back.
Before you go,
yeah. What's up?
You were adding to the conversation. I mean, if you're being honest and sincere and asking questions that you are really interested in, that's what we want. That's why I'm here.
Well, then, if that's true, then I'm happy that I could. It's like a genuine pleasure to meet with people who don't view the same things that I do, view the same way. Or else it will just feel like I'm in an echo chamber.
Yeah, we need to deprogram people one person at a time. So, congratulations, you're on your way.
Thank you. And, like, seriously, it's lovely to speak to people and get to know people and, like, understand different things. By the way, I apologize if, like, I don't sound my age. Like, I don't, like, by my voice. I don't know. I don't think I can change that. I'm not trying to be rude. I just genuinely don't think I can change that. But, it's really lovely, speaking to people. And, meeting new ones and genuinely having a conversation.
I think what you should take away from the conversation, I've been here over 4 years. And
4 years?
Yep. You're never going to find more honest people anywhere. These people are here to tell you the truth, and that's a fact. And I've been here almost 5 years, and I've heard nothing but truth out of these people. So just remember that.
um, I,
I know it's a
well,
lot to swallow. I know it is. I know it's a lot to swallow, but I'm telling you, these people do not lie. They got no reason to, and they've spent their last 4, 5, 6, 7 years of their life studying this stuff and finding out the real truth about things, and they're sharing it. So just, just be advised, these people are genuine, truthful, honest individuals. Most honest people I've ever met in my life are on this channel.
well, it genuinely seems like they're very kind, and it seems that they're also very honest in the way that you're saying. And you're right, 100%.
Yeah, just remember that. These people aren't here to lie to you. They're not here to try and convince you of something that's not right. This flat Earth thing is a lot to swallow. We were all programmed our whole life to believe we live on a globe, but there's just no evidence for it. There just isn't. So anyway, it's a lot to swallow. It takes a minute, but just check it out for yourself. Like these guys say, do a little bit of your own research. You'll see what they're telling you is exactly what you'll find.
Yeah, and I think we're all just to dovetail on that. I think we're all here trying to learn how well to be fair to others because we came from the same place. So sometimes it's hard, like when you discover hard facts and you research it to the nth degree, and then you have people who have done no research of their own and want to tell us that we're wrong or something. They haven't even gone outside and checked themselves what their religion says they should have outside. And we did that work for them. Thank you, and you're welcome. And so you can come in and do it yourself. That way, you'll go from a belief that Earth is flat, possibly, once you get to that far, to you actually know Earth is, for a fact, flat and level with terrestrial, variations. I mean, with the variations on land, right? So, yeah. So it's a flat, stationary, contained system. Uh, that's it. That's all
Wait,
we're saying.
when you say stationary, it means that stationary doesn't move, right?
Doesn't move. No.
Then, if it's stationary, okay, now I have even more questions, but I have to go to D&D. You guys have a lovely day. If you are still here tomorrow, Sonny, I can't talk tomorrow. I'm on the road.
Cool.
If you're still here in a week's time, I would love to pick up the conversation and ask you more questions.
Yeah, just come back in, Smiley. I think you have some perms now. Yeah, you're VC verified late night 3 points. Yeah, cool, man. Come on in anytime. We love talking with you, man.
Yeah, Sonny's not going anywhere. He's been here for as long as I have. So, going on 5 years. So, I'm not going anywhere. Neither is Sonny. So, neither is.
You've been here. You've been here a little bit longer since 2019. I started 2020, almost a year difference. But yeah, like right on. God Rockin' was here when I got here, man. So
By the way, I have a quick question about the roles. What does seem sincere mean? Like the role. If I don't mind.
yeah, just like we were telling you, like you seemed sincere, like you seem like you're asking genuine questions. So that was a role that was given to you probably in the very beginning. So at least you got that going for you, and we concur. You seem sincere to me. I'll just say that. And so keep on being sincere. Keep on being inquisitive. You're very young still, and like if this is what you're finding at 15, I'm very encouraged because anybody with a logical mindset, has cultivated that mindset is going to come to the conclusion we have, and I'm confident in that. And look forward to have more conversation with you, man.
Thank you so much for having this conversation with me again. I really hope to see you guys soon. And I genuinely wish you guys all the best, and I hope you guys could take care of yourselves. Because, man, it would be a pain in the ass to come back and you guys didn't take care of yourselves. So yeah, you guys have a lovely day.
I got a question. Does anyone know about the waning and waxing of the moon? Like, is good at answering the questions about that?
Hey, ask away. I'll give it my best shot. I know. Waxing,
so-
waxing's
okay.
getting bigger, waning's getting smaller. I think.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, the question is, why is the waning and waxing of the moon, like when considered with the 3D model, it lines up as expected, right? So my question is, what creates the waxing and waning if it's not the sun's light hitting the spherical moon?
It is Genesis 1:14-19, and I got it right here. Just a second.
Well, you're just quoting Bible quotes.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it is. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years."
Okay.
And excuse me,
do this
just a second. I know,
religious quote.
I know the Bible is tough for people, some people, and let them be for the lights in the firmament, and the heavens to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights: a greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars also. So here's the situation. We have gone with man science, which has basically said that the Earth is a possibility at 23.4 degrees. It's physically impossible to have 23.4 degrees tilted, wobbling, spinning, going out throughout an ever-expanding universe. It is impossible.
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
I wanted to sign like a measurement, like a scientific explanation, not just a Bible quote.
Scientific explanation for the Bible.
No. It's not for the Bible.
Science.
That's my question.
Your
Science.
explanation was a religious belief.
It is like that is a religious belief, and I'd prefer
No,
to
not
use
Jim's.
religious belief.
Yours.
Mine?
Not Jim's. Yours.
It's actually not my belief, but it's a question. Like, why is how you have to be able to explain the waxing and waning of the moon? It's not a religious.
You can't
belief
explain
that
it either.
waxes and wanes.
You have a belief.
That's why I'm here asking about it. I don't have a belief system. I'm not a globe earther.
Well, I'm just saying.
Do me a favor.
You're accusing Jim of.
No. So it's in the firmament. Like
I'll
it probably is. It probably is. But I need more of a base. Like
why?
I need like measurements and stuff and like
Why?
a real explanation. Like, is it because the moon's a luminary and it's like made of plasma and it's at this certain point in the Earth's atmosphere?
No one knows. Listen, no one knows what the source of any of those things are. No one's identified the source or the material, if there is any material. No one has identified anything about them that we can tell. There's no way to freaking tell. So it's pure speculation when you start looking up. What we do know for sure is the surface condition.
I was going to say another thing is we know what is not urban. So you were saying like, well, it works on the 3D model, and that's not actually true either, or at least from what we actually see in reality. So for instance, these guys are absolutely right. We can't verify that for ourselves, and even this is my own speculation. But for instance, are you aware that some stars can be seen actually transparently through the moon?
I have looked into that. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's definitely instances that start poking holes in that heliocentric model. There's also instances, and I dare say, like, start looking at the sky if you actually want to question it a little bit more, because it is one of the first things we all kind of do, right? We look to the sky and we're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. I'm only seeing one side of this ball rock, you know? So, I mean, there's a lot of things where we can definitely tell you what it's not, right? So, for instance, like eclipses, right? We definitely know it's not a magical 180 synergy of alignment casting a shadow on the moon, right? We know that it's not that because, first of all, the shadow comes in at the wrong angle, and it doesn't line up, right? However, it does use serocycles, so I mean, there's definitely evidence of maybe what those are. However, you're asking a question of, okay, well, explain, sort of its action. And yeah, I would completely agree with Sonny. We can't go there. We can't get some moon sample, as much as they kind of shoved that down our throats, right? We went to the moon. We've dominated it. When Jim is actually bringing up a good point, it's still evidence. It might not be scientific evidence, if you will, but you called it biblical evidence, but there are descriptions that do tell us at least what these luminaries are. So I mean, don't cast that out either. Anyway.
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.